Hi, I'm John Jurgensen. I'm here with Grammy-winning singer and guitarist Bonnie Raitt. Last April, she released Slipstream. It was her first album since 2005, and it got a great reception. Sold more than 200,000 copies and powered a successful concert tour, which is ongoing. Bonnie Raitt, welcome.
Nice to see you, John.
Nice to see you. So you've been on the road for months, and the tour will continue in the new year. How has the new material changed as you performed it live?
Well, you know, everything from tempos to the mix of live shows like the New Orleans Jazz Fest we started, and of course there was like on your market set, do the tour in front of 50,000 people for your break-in gig. You know, outdoor shows are much more rowdy. You know, there's kind of less ballads, and then so as the natural tour progresses, you know, the theater tours just get deeper, and you know, you switch some older songs from other ones, and then you have days to rehearse sound checks to get other old chestnuts worked up and some new surprising stuff. So it gets more broken in, and we morph things from night to night. You know, the set change makes it really interesting just to have different crowds, different parts of the country, and make it feel really different as well.
So you mentioned some of the rocking songs you do. You also do some of these really emotional ballads. I always wonder, how do you swing between those poles during the performance, emotionally speaking? Is that tough to do?
It's a good question. You know, I have grown up watching people put together sets, you know, whether it's almost the same as an album. And then, you know, I even started watching Broadway shows from the time I was a little girl. I watched how they paced, where they put the beautiful ballad, and how much, you know, there's an emotional break and an uplift. You know, June is busting out all over, goes into something, you know, really depressing in Carousel. And I think I just picked it up instinctively, but I know that I build my set around 4 significant ballads usually, and there's a warm up to it, and then you dip down, and then just for me, I gotta come up and down. And then there's places where staying down longer works, you know, especially in a theater show. And there's ones that you painfully find out that too many ballads in an outdoor festival, you know, following Iggy Pop is not the place to put I Can't Make You Love Me third in the set. So it just becomes, I think with experience, pacing an album in a show, it's kind of like a great meal. You know, right. I usually have to wait to sing I Can't Make You Love Me because it's just pretty devastating for me, and I know people are waiting for it, and I don't want to get it out of the way too soon.
So you released Slipstream on your own label, Red Wing.
Yeah.
And obviously that's been a successful strategy for you. What kind of pitfalls, though, did you encounter along the way? When you're the person writing the checks, what did you encounter?
Oh, you know, probably my staff who actually do the day-to-day and strategizing and the research and report, and then we talk and we make decisions. But I'd have to say, I couldn't have done this without the incredible team I have in my management. They would know more what the pitfalls are, but the reason this works is because we do a lot of homework before we hire the team that we have, the distribution, the PR team, the label management, assist, radio promo people, and we, from many years of experience, we know who and other people saying, don't go with these guys, go. If it's not working, we can switch. And when you're on a big label, a lot of times you're with that same person who's ignoring you for many, many months. So I would have to say we haven't really had a false step.
Right, you can pivot and react to things
exactly,
on the fly.
and we can be sure that they're going to give us the real answer because we are writing the checks, and we're going to be able to get callbacks right away, which is really refreshing.
So we're speaking a few hours before Grammy nominations are going to be announced.
I know, I just remembered that getting out of the car, coming up these stairs.
Obviously that event changed your life in a major way in 1990 when you swept the Grammys. Either reflect on that for us or think about what might be happening tonight for you, possibly. Knock wood.
Oh, I could get lucky later. No, you know, I was thrilled to be nominated. I wasn't even expecting. I thought maybe something to talk about would get a little something, and I knew that the John Lee Hooker album hopefully was going to get some attention for him because it was already a big success. I'm talking about The Healer, which had a lot of great duets with young contemporary. At that time we were younger, 20 years ago. So I was hoping maybe maybe we get 1 or 2, but as the evening progressed and I won 3, you know, a combination of Nick of Time and the John Lee Hooker duet, I was pretty astonished. And then just to get the nomination for Album of the Year was one of the big surprises of even remains, and then to win was unimaginable.
Now you were, commercially speaking, a late bloomer when that happened. You were about 4 years old when that happened.
Yeah.
It must have really sort of prepared you for different times of your career, right? I mean, if looking back to that, you probably have a lot of perspective about, especially given the way that the music industry has changed.
Oh yeah. you know, I even said in my acceptance speech that I'm glad that I was brought to this at this point in my life, because I don't think I could have handled it. I mean, how Norah Jones and Adele and Lady Gaga, even, and women, people, I mean, men and women who have handled their incredible catapult to #1, and that worldwide acclaim with such poise is really astonishing to me. And they haven't really lost their center. I mean, Norah Jones is just as the same down-to-earth person that she always was. So I was glad I was sober and 40 and, you know, had been around the block for a while. It meant even more to me, you know. And I don't have that kind of career where I have to, you know, follow it up with another hit, you know. So that even made the follow-up record doing even better. It was particularly a surprise and a delight. So I feel like I've got my lifetime gift. I don't need any more, you know. So if I get nominated again, it'll be really wonderful. But I'm not, you know, my success has been lasting this long, and my reward is every night when people still want to come and see me. And I mean that really. It's not, I make the records so I can tour. It's not the other way around.
Well, Bonnie Raitt, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, John. It's great to see you.